one of the things that we both agreed was the sign of a losing campaign was when they decided to put out not one, but 2 attack ads against Jill Stein in swing states.
That's a desperate look. It's not a good look.
The other thing that has happened over the past few weeks, which again is not entirely surprising, but who can blame them because it's really what they lean on so heavily, is all of these Hollywood celebrities that have just been coming out nonstop to support Kamala Harris.
And you know
so
what?
Important
Et tu, Mark Ruffalo? Et tu, Cynthia Nixon?
Why? You're not, again, why is Susan Sarandon the only person with balls?
I don't understand. Mark Ruffalo, I'm so sad.
Why does Susan Sarandon say, go fuck yourself?
Oh, and John Cusack is good. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, they're all on an island. And yeah, it's kind of like paid endorsements. Well,
that's all they have. And I've said it for a long time. I think that from the minute that Kamala was a candidate in 20 through all of this, that her supporters, the quote unquote K-Hive, I've said it, I believe it. It is not real. I think it is paid bots or paid farms or whatever they call those places that do that. And that is a huge amount of her people. And unfortunately, it doesn't lend itself to voters.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump people are Trump people.
See, why? You see, listen, I normally would not try to envy other states, but why can't we be a little bit more like a blue state like Maryland? Maryland passes women's reproductive freedom with a 3-to-1 margin. Why couldn't we do that?
Well, we're never getting that. And that's why it's so stupid that we now have to have 60%. But here's the best thing about it, right? I can hope that it really does discourage people from moving to Florida.
Yeah, we got a lot of people.
We have way too many people. So I don't, and I think we also need to put a moratorium on a lot of development in these in low-lying places. But anyway, so if this keeps people from moving to Florida, good. Truthfully, good. And people with daughters, save yourself.
If you haven't seen Tales from the Crypt, a very good film, a very good show on HBO. I didn't realize it was a movie. But the point, to come full circle, what I was trying to point out is that we could show videos of a lot of different celebrities, influencers, whoever you can think of, that are just going to do the standard talking points about why you must support Kamala Harris.
Well, New York voters approved their abortion, so that's nice. So
New York codifies women's reproductive.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. I'm telling you, it's going to codify in almost every state in the country, and we're going to be the ones being like, well, of course we can't do it in Florida because Florida has to be different. You know, they always say,
and it was a majority. Again, we did have most people that did vote for it.
Yeah. So listen, this guy is a real, I got to choose my words carefully. I'm just trying not to say anything really stupid, but let's just say that Adam Conover is really annoying and has really bad takes. So this isn't even about supporting Kamala Harris against Donald Trump. This is Adam Conover talking about why you must not support third-party candidates. This is what he had to say.
Here's the problem with third parties. We all want more choices in our political system. I do too. But unfortunately, in the U.S., we have a winner-take-all political system. In other countries where they have proportional representation, if a third or minor party gets just 5% of the vote, then they get 5% of the seats in the legislature.
I just don't know who this guy is. Who is that?
So again, Adam Conover, I think, has done he's like a writer and he's done some shows and stuff like that. But he just let the cat out of the bag. He just said, well, you know, in these other countries, they get 5% of the vote and they can make real change.
Right.
What in the fuck do you think we're trying to do here in the States? We need other options. Even if I was a Democrat or a Republican, you cannot tell me that this two-party system works. It doesn't. It's broken. And you just explained exactly why it's broken and why we should be trying to fight to get them that 5%. You just said it. But he's got some more boneheaded things that he has to say.
So they get real power. But in a winner-take-all system, they don't get power. Instead, they just take votes away from the party that they're more closely aligned with and often throw the election to the party they're most opposed to.
What are you basing that on?
I don't understand. I'm not like, I feel like that is so not true. That's not how this works.
What about the fact that the overwhelming majority of people who are supporting Jill Stein were never going to vote for Kamala Harris? Like, what world are you? And this is also the problem with these overwoke, insulated, coastal elite influencer entertainers.
But here's the ultimate problem with what he's saying. And this is what that really pisses people off when I say this. They not only are they assuming that I'm going to subject myself to their lesser of two evil methodology. Like, even if they're assuming that I'm going to do that, They're so friggin' sanctimonious as to who they assume is the lesser evil, because we do not agree on that. And I am definitely way left. I voted for Jill Stein. I am definitely probably one of the leftier people you know. And I do not oppose Trump more than I oppose Harris. So see, the level of sanctimonium that this person has, and just presuming that I'm somebody who's voting for a third party, and that by me doing that, I'm only helping the person I am more opposed to. No, not according to what you're saying. If I'd be helping, I'm not more opposed to Trump.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they assume that Kamala to them is automatically the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't offend them.
We'll continue.
Even if they don't intend to, they functionally act as a spoiler. And you can see that in our political system, because the GOP has literally tried to help Jill Stein and the Green Party get on the ballot.
Because the Democrats spend millions to prevent them from getting on those ballots. Or did you forget to mention that?
Right. Like that's the problem. That's the problem. Why are we fighting against parties on a ballot? And then somehow claiming that you're the Democrats.
Oh, of course.
You're the Democratic Party.
Yeah, because they know what's best.
And get them more votes. Now, there are third parties that escape this trap. The Working Families Party is incredibly effective because they run fusion candidates with Democrats they support to pull them to the left, and they organize year-round to build power for working people. But unfortunately, most third parties in America don't do that. Instead, they just run one candidate every 4 years, bank a lot of donations, get a lot of votes, get a lot of press, but the functional effect of doing so is to give power to the party and policies they oppose the most. And
this is just a rebranded version of AOC's speech. So it's almost like they gave this guy a few bucks and said, here, read these points.
I mean, listen, and you know what, Henry, you're right. Collective Art Designs, you're right. Teresa, you're right. You know, at the end of the day, we could have pulled this from anybody. We could have pulled it from that guy, Harry Sisson, that I told you guys about. That's one of those, you know, Zoomer influencers for the Democratic Party who is paid by the DNC hundreds of thousands of dollars. And on top of everything else, this kid comes from one of the most affluent suburbs in the entire country, Rye, New York.
Well, right.
It's
so
like, where do you think they're getting these people from? It has become so elitist in the Democratic.
Well, and that's why they're losing people. Are we connecting with Pat and Lila?
Yes. They're live with a couple of other people right now.
Okay.
They have the link.
Okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I just don't know. Why do we give people like this time? This is like one of the people that I don't know why you want to watch this. Look, people are leaving us.
As much as we wish it to be otherwise, that is simply not an effective political strategy until we get ranked choice voting and proportional representation in America, which, God willing, we will have one day.
How is that going to happen?
It's not like you're out there doing jack shit to change
well,
that.
and how is that going to happen? You think that the Democrats are going to support ranked choice voting? You think that we're going to get Kamala to be, to like ranked choice voting? Like we're just going to push them to the left?